All right, it is 6:32, I'm told, so we will call the meeting to order.
Frozen. Hey, Beth.
There she is.
Okay.
Hello, Beth. Merry Christmas, Beth. And
Thank you. Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas. I'd like to welcome our new commissioners. Thank you for coming tonight. Not that I wouldn't think you would come tonight. But it's always nice when I see cheery faces here. So we'll get right into the meat of the matter here, because we may have something else that we'd like to enjoy later. Approval of the November 12th regular meeting minutes.
Make a motion to approve meeting minutes from Wednesday, December 10th.
November 12th.
November 12th.
Today's 10th.
Okay.
That's okay.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to approve the November 12th minutes. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a second. Is there any discussion, corrections, or anything else one would like to add? Subtract? Change? That's
Did not notice anything.
nothing? Okay, hearing none there. All in favor of accepting the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Any abstentions? No? Okay. Recognition of guests? None? Except that I recognize, yeah, I recognize our liaison from the Conservation Commission. Hi there. Any correspondence?
Yes, in your packet, actually it's right below the bill, but let's get it. I'm sorry. But just get it in mind. There's an email from that was sent to me today that you guys should read over. It's from Jamie Lamarco. Jamie was our vendor at Harvey's Beach this past summer. And you'll see the correspondence, what it's about. Things that you guys can consider. I got that today at 4:00.
That's from that table is for discussion.
Yeah.
Better date.
Yeah.
We'll be coming up with a discussion on renewing the vendors for Harvey's Beach, so I think this would fall in line with that pre-discussion. So it's interesting for the 3 to 5 year agreement. Just offhand, I can understand as a business person why one would want an agreement more than 1 year, but that's just something for us to keep in mind that we're coming up with the January meeting. So thank you, Jamie, for your email. Appreciate that. Any other correspondence?
No.
Moving along to review of the bills. For our new commissioners, we usually, just as a commission reviewing, if we have any questions on the dollars amount, feel free. Ray is more than experienced in letting us know all the dollars and cents of what had to go into some of the costs of these things.
Background checks, is that a standard?
We background check all our youth coaches.
Right, understood, but is that a standard monthly or is that?
No, that's
prorated by
per person. So,
Okay.
so we have a lot of different seasons, obviously. So these are from
Correct.
the indoor soccer season that's going on right now.
Yeah.
So any of the coaches that needed it, they last for 6 months or 8 months, one or the other. I forget which one it is. So if they did it in the fall with their outdoor, then we didn't do it again. If any new coaches, so.
So I see some of the disc golf stuff. Are we going forward with the plan that we talked about last month?
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. And the awnings for mini golf, is that something that we're gonna do in the spring?
No, they take them down.
Oh, that's to have,
Yeah.
we're not getting new ones.
Yeah, no.
So were we ever talking about adding something off the front of the mini golf to like protect patrons as they come in to buy tickets or?
No, that was never discussed down there. It just happens to be called warning.
Yeah.
But we're not trying not to deal with what rains.
Sunshine. It's, I don't know if it's sunny on the
No, it doesn't really affect us down there.
east side.
No.
Did we have to redo the floodlights?
No, they were broke.
Yeah, roofed it.
They weren't floodlights. They just, the way, sometimes Rick just puts them in because that's how the bill comes. Those are actually lights in the back court here.
Oh, all right,
So-
all right.
I mean, technicality, I guess you can call them floodlights, but really the basketball lights.
Okay.
You know,
I do remember a couple of times it seemed awfully dark back there.
but they were. Okay.
All right, any other questions on the bills? Hearing none, we'll move along to public comments. Now look up again, see none. Any? Going on to new business for commission election. This is the time of year that when commission has to elect the chairman, vice chair, and secretary. So this is where I am always embarrassed, but I would like to be chairman again this year, but I open the floor to anyone else who would like to be chairman. Please don't be bashful. This is not something I want to do for a lifetime.
You need a nomination.
But,
So I'll
yeah,
nominate Sue, for chair of.
there is one nomination.
I know. Not want to touch that.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I was looking at the newbies because you know, we usually just don't know.
Well, I don't think it would be appropriate, well, for myself, I wouldn't want to be a chair until I'm here a while.
This is where I get embarrassed all the time because I'm presently the commission, chairman, and I'm just putting my name in the hat again.
That's all right.
All right, we have a nomination on the floor for,
And we have a second.
do we have a second?
Yes, you do.
I'm gonna defer the vote until we find who would like to be vice chair.
I'd like to nominate Robert Mayor for vice chair.
I second it.
Oops. All right, we have a nomination on the floor for vice chair. I'm in error, excuse me, I'm in error. Before we close the nominations for chair, I have to say, is there a nomination for chair from the floor? Is there a nomination for chair from the floor?
We nominate Sue.
Is there a nomination from the chair from the floor?
Okay,
I move to close nominations.
somebody needs to second that.
I'll second that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Closing that door.
We're closing. We are usually a very friendly group, but sometimes I really have to refer to Robert's rules.
Yes, Robert's rules.
Yes.
And we are being recorded at election. And Beth, I'm sorry, my back is to you, but feel free to yell out and I will recognize you honestly.
I think those are great nominations.
All right, now we can open up nominations for vice chair.
I will nominate Robert Mayor for vice chair.
And I'll second it.
Okay. Are there any other nominations for vice chair? Are there any other nominations for vice chair? Are there any other nominations for vice chair? All right, I move to close the nomination for vice chair. Someone second, please.
I will second that.
Okay. Moving along to secretary, Star's favorite position.
Thoroughly enjoy it.
I know, right?
I open nominations for secretary for,
So I will nominate Star for secretary.
Oh my God.
I have a nomination on the floor for Star for secretary. Is there a second?
I will second that.
Are there any other nominations? Star says, please, I don't know, from the floor. Any other nominations from the floor? Any other nominations from the floor? I move to close nominations for secretary.
I'll make a second of that motion.
Yes, second. Thank you. All right, I move. Before I do that, we have ability to do this by paper, but seems how there are no contestants, we can make a motion to vote as a whole verbally. Is that what the commission would like to do? Someone say yes, I nominate to vote for verbal, please. Move to vote.
I move to vote orally.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you.
Is that good?
All in favor, say aye.
I,
Nays? All right. Motion to accept the nominees as presented in the position. Say yes, say aye.
Aye.
I,
And nays? Any abstention? Congratulations, everyone. We are now officers.
Congratulations, everyone. Okay. Especially thing.
Sometimes at some committees, this is bored and failed, but you are coming into a very friendly commission here, so excuse that. All right. We now have the election. Harvey's Beach vendor application.
So each and every year, we've brought this to you. I brought this to you. Essentially, it's just the application that we send out for anyone who wants to apply to be the vendor at Harvey's Beach. The only thing I did not change on here is really up to you guys, is when you want the applications received by. Last year was March 7th, which was I believe the Thursday prior to the next March meeting there, whatever the second meeting was. So that certainly needs to be changed, and you can make it anytime you want. And then the other thing you guys discussed last year were the fees that were involved. No, where did we have that? Oh, there it is. It's the last bullet point on the bottom there.
So the last Friday of that, before the meeting would be the March 6th.
I believe so, yeah. It was either Thursday or Friday, one or the other.
So we would change that to March 6th.
March 6th. 2026, yeah.
And I say that only because we want to make sure the vendors are ready for our opening day. That would be
Yeah, no, yeah, because you would usually vote on the vendor in March after you receive any applications. Yeah.
Ray, what's the monthly increment starting when we approve them? Do they put it immediately or they make?
It was June, July, and August.
As an aside, is there a way to know how much it costs for the protein?
No, that's not through us, that's the vendor
That's the vendor takes care of that. So only thing for us there is that electrical.
and the water, but the water's hard to get the water hit. For the bathrooms and everything else. And we have electrical for everything else too, so it's really tough to figure that out, yeah.
It'd be more, you won't get that back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the fees that are charged definitely covers that.
With, at this time, when we go to the email that we received earlier today, this is a yearly review, right?
Meaning,
Meaning that if we accept the changes that we did for the date and we accept the fees that we have now, it would be for a year and not considering the request from this email.
well, I mean, you can change this document to read out what you want, but yes, it would be for the 2026 beach season. Right, so the application. But I also think this is really just an application, right? So you can approve the vendor and then the contract that we sign with the vendor can have those stipulations in it. Not so much the application. I don't think you want to
Okay,
put any of that stuff in the application, so.
I just wanted
We
to
do
make sure
sign a
the
contract.
application didn't say for 1 year, or is
No.
it just for the
This
season?
is simply an application.
Okay,
So we know that that vendor is in good standing with the state health board, they have all their licenses, and that they provide you with the proper menu that you're looking for, right? So as you recall, last year, we had two particular vendors come in. They were both qualified, you pick one or the other. But then we sign a contract with that particular vendor that I think would include some of those language points if we wanted them.
okay,
And that would be me The commission would certainly be involved, but we'd have to go through our council, town council to approve some of those things as well.
Okay, so that doesn't hinder us from reviewing this email request for our next meeting.
I don't believe so. I really don't believe so, because this is really just an application for the vendor.
Do you think there is an incentive, valid, reasons why to increase the increment of time that we have the contract for? Will that entice other vendors besides the few ones that we do get?
I'm sure it would. Sure it would, but I mean, I have pros and cons in my mind. I think one of the big pros for me to keep it yearly is if the vendor that we have is not happy, we're not happy with them.
Yeah.
And they go off the rails and do whatever they want to do, you know,
So
so.
we could put stipulations in the contract for
You
code
certainly
of
could.
conduct and.
And that's never really been an issue.
Yeah,
And then what happens if that vendor decides to close up shop in August, then they still have another 2 years left on their contract, you know,
Sell
so.
it to a family member
Yeah,
or somebody else
whatever,
runs it.
so-
There's still a-
well, it's the idea that they have the ability to continue a contract, not that they have to.
And certainly if I
I was
was,
wondering, because we haven't gotten that many
no,
applications
No, we have
from
not,
vendors. So we're usually, I mean, last year was probably our most, right? That we have got 3 applications.
two.
We just had 2.
Yeah. But I mean, there is something to be said about the same vendor that goes back to year after year. We've had essentially the same vendor for 5 years. People look forward to having that
Yep.
vendor there. So
So,
that's another pro, you know?
What made you pick that vendor from last year
What they're offering.
or the other one?
They're offering, I mean, it's, people come down to Harbor's Beach, like Ray was just saying, for, they're come down, they know they're gonna get a lobster roll.
Exactly.
So that was one of the keys. The other vendor that was there, they didn't have
It was
any
a
of the,
different venue and
it was a
type.
very different menu.
Prices were a
And-
little skewed higher than the one that we
Yeah.
had been with. Okay.
So Harvey's Beach does very well. It's very popular, so people look forward to coming back and having the same traditions,
Experience.
the same experience, so it made sense.
There's certainly some questions you have to weigh in your mind. What is beneficial for the town and what isn't? I mean, there's certainly, as a business owner, I would love to have a 3 to 5 year contract or whatever, you know, that'd be great. Then you have stability and you know what you're doing, you know, and I get that as a seasonal.
Yeah, they can plan around it. If they buy a truck, for instance, or whatever, they need to have a business down there, right? And the investment goes for 3 years, they can average that over 3 to 5 years versus, hodgepodge, well, we'll get it this year and hopefully get, cross our fingers, get it the following year. But I don't know outside of the truck, what, I mean, I only briefly read the email, but I don't know what other capital expenditures they'd have because we provide everything else.
Yeah.
They're looking to have us collaborate. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
On fencing or security.
That may need to be elaborated, so.
It would not be a collaboration whatsoever. It's our property. We would do.
Correct, right, so that would have to be, right.
I think, for our new commissioners, that we had a rather large discussion, with, emails that were receiving from some neighbors, and we thought perhaps changing the fencing to make it more, private, was there, but I don't know if it's there, but we did have that consideration. So we can go over this, and actually, I think it would be a good point for me to send you the, email that came in, previously in our response to the email. And that way you would understand some of the sensitivities of, people who are neighboring there. And
So this music, right?
one of them was music, one of it was, there's quite a bit. So
Okay, I would appreciate that,
I
thank
think
you.
you should have some background on that.
I don't know if you were gonna talk about it later or not, but did we address the letter? from the
We
resident?
did, but when I went into my computer this morning, I realized Jerry didn't get a copy of it, and I don't believe any of you did, so I'll make sure you all get that copy.
Oh, okay,
All right?
Okay.
Are you gonna cover that later or was there
No,
any
because I don't have the letter to give you to.
There was no-
But,
reply?
not to the email I sent with the attachment
Okay.
so far. I mean, I don't,
I just sent it out when we get a chance.
Yeah, I
What
will.
was that sent? What was that sent?
day before Thanksgiving, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know.
the meeting was what, the 10th, and then came, a week and a half of Thanksgiving, and now we're into Christmas season. But I think it was the day, officially the day before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
I'll make sure you're apprised of all that, too.
Thank you.
I just happened to double check that before I came in tonight, and I'm going, I don't think, what did you, usually I get a response saying thank you, or Jerry says,
Some sort of
okay,
acknowledgement, yeah.
and then it's, so I'll go back and look at that. We'll put that on my bad. Did we make enough changes for your application for us to approve it as we
I
did?
mean, if you like the writing of it and $1,000 for the summer is good, then there's
Yeah. it's
nothing else to do.
Basically the same as last
Yeah.
year, no changes.
Nothing to change on it.
I think it's fine. Just the date.
We went up last year.
We did.
We went up last year,
Yeah.
so.
What was it before, Matt?
700.
Oh.
So, and we like to make money, but I mean, we don't want to, discourage anybody from using this beautiful beach. So it's kind of a balancing act for us. There's some people out there say, we can get a whole lot more money, but we're sitting there, we're into making sure families can afford this. And I guess, and residents alike.
And to Rob's point, we want the same wonderful experiences they're used to.
I hope so. I mean, I hate to think that we would do something like.
So many people that you talk to that don't even live in town talk about their tradition of coming down to Harvey's Beach.
Yes.
Oh,
One
yeah.
of my coworkers that I didn't even know came down to Harvey's Beach when he found out I lived in Old Saybrook. He's like, I've been going there since I was a kid.
Mhm.
And he's like,
a
he brings his
generational thing, yeah.
kids down here from Tallinn. Connecticut.
Wow,
And put
so,
it this way, basically since 2013, when the zoning change was made, we didn't have food there before. People brought their own coolers. People still bring their own coolers, don't get me wrong, but it's also curbed that cooler effect on the beach, right?
Yeah.
So people bring less coolers and they get their food there. They look forward to just having
Less
this.
garbage for us.
Yes.
okay, if we don't have any other, I mean, we can make a motion now to accept the application with the changes we made.
I'll make the motion to approve the Parks and Recreation Harvey's Beach food vendor application
With the
with the date change of March 6, 2026.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor in a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of accepting the application with, changes, say aye.
Aye.
Any nay? I hear you. Any, abstentions? No? Okay. We're moving along here. Our next one, beach parking pass, policy.
Again,
Aren't you glad that you came in November?
Yeah. Again, this is our parking policy for getting your beach pass for the summer. This policy has worked out well the last couple of years from the changes that you have made in the last couple of years, which have been great. So and again, the only thing that really is worth discussing, I think, is the fees that you charge. And I have not had any complaints about them, except they're might be too high, I guess, for some people, but other than that, and the Harvey's seasonal pass, this year we sold 92 season passes, which was by far a record at Harvey's Beach for season passes. And the only thing I can assess that to is we did go up to $30, $20 and $30 per car for the weekend. So $30 Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 20 Monday through Thursday. So if you were to go 5 times the weekend, you pay for your season pass. I think that's really the only thing. But truthfully, it's a little low for some of the other area places, but it's not out of the realm.
Did we last change the season pass price?
Couple years.
Yeah.
Couple
Yeah.
years.
Maybe 2 years.
I want to say it was $100.
Yeah. We went up substantial on the last
Yeah.
change.
I think it was $100.
It was like 2 to 3 years ago.
Yeah. But there was a big change from the year before. We sold 57 season passes, the 92, that's a substantial change. And I mean, it could just, more people want to use the beach
Could be
as
a lot.
opposed to
Yeah.
just what the fees were, but I mean, that's just what it was, so.
Haven't really made any significant changes or improvements that would warrant it. But
Correct.
predictably, our strategic plan does have some of that coming down the
Correct.
chain. So it would be smart to think about that
Yeah.
before we're, when we do increases.
Were you able to hear that, Beth?
I didn't hear Star's last comment, but I could follow along up to them.
I just said, I think it'd be wise for us to consider our strategic plan when we, are considering improvements or increasing the price to when we make improvements to the parks and beaches, sort of have that in the back of our heads, the timing. I think it's important when we charge people more. That we have-
Absolutely. And I think I voted against raising it by the $5 or $10. And I still think 30 is a little high, but if it works for everybody, then it works. But it's cool that, I mean, season passes are selling more as well.
The only two things I'd like to have you guys consider, and I think one is really not a consideration. This past summer, we had a lot of golf carts try to go to Town Beach, and the police started enforcing golf carts not being allowed on 154. Or Great Hammock. So they in turn said no golf carts allowed at Town Beach. Totally get that. I understand. What I was doing in the past was if you had a golf cart, you need to have a sticker on it. It takes up a spot, you need to have a sticker. So now there's no golf carts going to be allowed. So I don't know if we need to put that in the policy, or is that just really a decision on our part as just rules and regs. That, and then as we know, Airbnbs are a very popular thing in town. There are some Airbnb owners that come in and buy a pass. What they think they can do is they laminate that pass, leave it at that property, and then they say, give it to that person, they bring it to the beach. A parking attendant then say, no, you can't be here because it's gotta be laminated. There's not much more we can do about saying there's lamination on the back of the pass, there's gotta be laminated, it's gotta be, it can't be laminated, it's gotta be affixed to your windshield, so on and so forth. And I'm not sure how we can actually even address it in there, because we pretty much go over exactly what you need to do with your beach pass. But those two things are really the only issues that I see that are not really addressed in this particular policy. So
Can we do something for that phenomenon of VRBOs where we have like a punch pass that they buy? That's, they can leave for their renters for the week. That kind of gives them a week pass.
So we do offer a 2-week pass for anyone who's renting beyond a week.
This is down here in the part-time renter.
Yeah, 2-week pass. That 2-week pass is only good for Harvest Beach. And they pay $20 for that 2 weeks. It's just part of they're renting in town. We welcome you to town. You're renting. But a lot of the owners don't tell their renter for more than 2 weeks that they allowed to do that. People call us and say like, well, how do we get in the beach? And we let them.
I'm just
So-
wondering though, because I do slightly agree with Beth on, the cost of Harvey's Beach being a little on the higher side, what I would say, even though we have a lot of beaches that are more. And I think, like the concept of punch passes, you tend to buy a punch pass and you never really use all the punches on the pass. So it could be a better incentive for people that would use it, but also potentially probably bring in more revenue to the town, because most of the time people won't use all the punches.
So what's the difference from a punch pass to a 2-week pass that allows you, that I put dates on? From May 1st to May 15th, you're allowed to go to the beach for those 2 weeks, you pay here $20.
Well, from a VRBO perspective, that renter might use it for 3 instead of just the 2 weeks, and now they have X amount more left for the other renters for the year. So instead of,
But it's on a case, so that 2-week pass that we administer, it goes to that specific car for that 2 weeks that those people are renting. And that's it. It doesn't last for the whole summer. So he's got another renter that comes in from another 2 weeks second half of May, those people need
They
to
have
come
to
in
come in.
and get a 2-week pass.
So if you're gonna do a punch system, you'd want like a
Well, there's no,
double for a season pass and.
our current policy that we have, it has to be a registered vehicle, so
Yes.
it's gonna be hard to.
And that 2-week pass has their license plate number that goes on it.
Yeah.
I think if we try, we'd have to put more brain power into this, because I can see several instances where, because they're Airbnb, it could be abused. So it's very hard to get a handle on that. I'm sensitive to the complaint from the Airbnb owner. But I'm also thinking, as a resident or someone who just bought the pass at a dollar value, and I see them going through, I think that's a very,
I mean,
Yeah, how do they?
they advertise their place,
Yeah.
that you get a beach,
Yeah.
you're able to go to the beach.
Yeah.
Right, and if I owned a house, I'd do the same thing, right?
So how do they do that? How do they do that through us now? So is that the RV owner reaching out the week before with
No,
vehicle
they're,
information? Or they
according to
physically
our
have to come down here?
according to our rules, they're the owner of the property. They're allowed to get 2 passes. They just leave it in their rental,
Oh,
and then they say to their rental
Right,
person,
right.
take the pass.
yeah.
And they either laminate it or tell them to stick it to their windshield with a piece of tape or whatever, and then bring it back. Because our rules say you gotta stick it to your windshield, that's how you get into our beach. That's how we know that you're a resident, so. In order for, they're totally the property owner's doing the right thing, they're just advertising it wrong.
Are they different colors, these renters?
It's a piece of paper, so that we, this,
Like something, if you color code like the renter one, so that the staff knows that. Check the
It's
data,
not-
check
it
it
has,
more closely.
it has nothing to do with that, so a renter. You know what our regular passes look like, they're little square stickers. A 2-week pass is a piece of paper that I physically write on. And they're only allowed at Hardee's,
Gotcha,
so.
okay.
What's a good deal? $20.
I know.
I mean, that's
They
phenomenal.
are running.
Because if they didn't get that, they'd have to pay $30 a day. It's like that's
I almost feel like that should be increased.
right. I mean, honestly, if we were to, that would be the place.
But. Yeah, because that's a piece of paper that can be passed around where you're saying that piece of paper has the registration for that.
Has the
vehicle.
registration of that vehicle, has the dates that they're able to go there.
Yeah.
It's very
so it's pretty
specific,
restrictive.
it is very restrictive, and if
It's
the
actually-
parking attendants of
Good
Town
for
Beach
safety.
see that, they're like, nope, you gotta go to Harvey's.
Yeah.
It's very good for safety, so that's a good policy.
Yeah, no, I mean, truthfully, the Airbnb thing, we've tried to control it, you just get the irate, and listen, if you're on vacation and you're sad, you were told that you go to the beach, and then you get to the beach and you said you can't go to
Because
the
they advertise it.
right, yeah. That's a hard thing, and I get that.
Yeah.
There was a couple times I was at the beach, and this mom came over to me, she had 2 little kids. We're here for the beach, and the kids are crying, can we just stay for the day? I'm like, well, and I watched the kids cry, I'm like, yeah, go.
Yeah.
Enjoy the beach.
Heck
Oh, it's Sunday.
Yeah, right? She's like, texting all her friends. Oh, yeah, that's nice. Big guy. Big guy is nice. Oh, Nancy down there. Right? She's like. I'm having, right?
That's fun.
I mean, it's the parking attendants, now that I have an older staff there, the public does respect them a little bit more, and they do listen to them a little bit more, not saying everyone does, but they do get a little bit more respect, and they do a phenomenal job, and it's not easy. It's just, it's the times we live in, and we've gone through this for the last 25 years, there's no policy that's gonna take everyone under consideration,
No.
it's impossible.
So I don't see where we need to add more money, but the only thing that I do say is I think we can put somewhere in here, no ATVs, golf carts, or even ATVs, because I can see them coming down on low tide, down the whole salt marsh from pretty close to Oyster River, and then coming up. And, I have on off season seen telltale wheel marks in the sand of people using them, so. I think we should have just a some one-liner saying, no golf carts, or even if we want to add ATVs.
Yeah.
So at the bottom, under the bus parking, like golf cart / ATV,
Yep,
not allowed on town beach or Harvey Street property.
yep,
That's probably a good spot to put it, 'cause it's the end of it, yeah.
Can they drop, no, can they drop off? I saw a lot of drop offs.
Well, they're not allowed to have their golf cart on Great Hanover
I
Road.
know. But that's.
And that's part, when they go,
Worried about
when I talked to the police about this too, when they get their, because they're supposed to get a registration for the golf cart. That's in their rules and regulations, that they're not allowed on Great Hanover Road. So it just was never enforced. This summer, it got decided to be enforced. But, and I didn't know that until this summer.
and I think that was in, addition to the, motor vehicle laws that said golf carts have to have, certain licensing, and if you're a certain age, you have to, and with the helmets and everything else, so.
And say, does this flow into the same conversation about the electric bikes that have to?
No, because the golf carts have always not been able to operate on any road that's over 25 miles an hour or a state road.
Mhm.
Because all the town roads that you go on, but the only place you can do is cross Maple Avenue and go over under Knollwood or something like that. But you've always needed to have a license to drive one.
And there were a lot of golf carts this summer.
Yes,
it.
there were.
Really a lot. I
Yeah,
know it's
there were a lot.
And they were doing a lot of drop
A lot
offs.
of passenger golf carts,
Well,
like 4 or 5.
Yeah, the guy has the 8-seater right down
Yeah.
the road on Harvey, on Great Hammock
Yeah.
Road, that's always on.
So should we just put, no ATV or golf carts permitted on, at any town beach
So I would say specifically town beach
or
and
Harvey's Beach?
Harvey's Beach. Specifically state both of them.
Okay,
Any issues on mopeds, Vespas? Consider those the same as a motorcycle coming in?
Yeah, they still need to pass. It's just harder because there's literally no way for them to stick it on their windshield,
Right,
but at least they have them one on there.
because they don't need like a license plate or anything either.
No, actually, I'd welcome the mopeds because it takes up less
Less
space.
space.
Stick them in.
And we share a one, and we
Yeah.
always share a spot.
Yeah.
Like a couple people will put them in there nice.
I don't have a pass.
Well, we don't,
No, I
they
don't.
really can't stick it on,
Vice Chair.
they can't really stick it on their gas tank or
No.
whatever. I
No,
just gotta
but-
just pull them to, hold on. I mean, what else you can, I wouldn't want one on my motorcycle either. I have a little windshield. If I had one, then
Yeah.
most motorcycles don't have a windshield, so it's just hard.
I'm gonna roll up in my Vespa and see what they do.
Really nice, there was a.
can you give us the, update on the changes for this? Next month,
Right
to
now?
vote on it, or can we vote on that?
Have to vote on that.
Vote on that one.
Adding the
Adding
no ATV.
No golf carts and ATVs on town beach and Harvey's Beach.
I think it's no ATVs or golf carts permitted
Permitted.
on town beach or Harvey's Beach.
Or even at
But that's at town beach,
At-
Harvey
town beach
Beach.
and Harvey's Beach.
And did you hear us, Beth?
I think we should.
I know my back's to you, so I can't tell.
No,
you.
no worries. I think the at is really good because I do think people, well, I'm just going to park it here. It's not on the beach, just
Yeah.
don't let them even in the parking lot.
Allowed at it at all. At.
Then we should add properties then, because that means the parking area as well.
Correct.
All right.
So is that my motion? Want me to say it again?
Sure.
I make a motion to add wording to the, beach pass policies to include a statement indicating that there are no golf carts or ATVs allowed at Harvey's Beach and Town Beach properties.
And then, under application process, just I'm gonna cross out, registered motorbikes and golf carts require a parking pass.
Yeah. And, but yeah.
I'm just gonna cross out golf carts require a parking pass.
Where are you now? Is that the first page? Oh. That one?
We're gonna
Okay,
cross off golf carts.
yeah.
So just say registered motorbikes.
Required. I'm seconding. Okay, start. But there's a motion on the floor by Nancy, is there a second? Okay. Any other discussion? Does anybody see anything else they need to add? Change? Hearing none, all in favor of accepting the parking pass policies for 2026 with the additions, say aye.
Hi.
Any nays? Thank you, Beth. Any extension? Well, okay. We did that. Any other business regarding programs, facilities, and personnel?
There's something to bring to commission I thought might be fun to consider for the season next year, winter season.
Winter season?
Yeah, like, you know how, North Stonington has the lobster pot tree?
That's starting.
Stonington, is that where it is? So fun. So I was with a bunch of friends and whatever, bring it up. You know how we talk about Exchange Club at the pond? It's just sort of like we've talked about, improving it or whatever we've talked about. Dog park, that didn't work. What about that center island? If we cleared that, and put our own version of that lobster pot.
I like that.
Christmas tree we put for the holiday season. I think it would be fun if we did it specifically as a commission that we participated in. We rallied the troops to do it. We built it as a commission every year. Brings awareness to the members of the commission, something that we're doing. We're lighting up a really cool part. It's an entry point to Old Saybrook, right? There's only two. And it's a pretty big straightaway, right? There's not much going on the dump. There's activity slows down. I think it would look really nice. And I think we have such a great community that we would get the donations if we dug in for those lobster pots from the community. And I thought of it also in sort of we are promoting our strategic plan. We are going to be asking this community to meet the Board of Finance, to support us financially, and that it's hard when you don't have the faces of the commission all the time in front of you, right? And we don't really do anything specifically, right? Unless it's like a ribbon cutting or a ceremony that are infrequent. If we did it as a commission, it became something that the commission with new members, old members did every year. Everyone comes out with their families, everyone sees the lighting, sort of a fun thing. It's also a time for us to have a little table with our strategic plan in a pamphlet, and we can chat up the new families, the young families, old and new, who are going to vote, on things that are coming up. So I sort of thought of it as what the residual would be in that, and the positive sort of feedback we could get as the commission members doing something actively. We don't have a float. That's always been an idea that we've touched upon in the past, the parades being a part of. I know we do the snowman thing and we do all these different things, but this sort of, I think, be a really great way for the active commissioners. Election season happens, kind of ties in with new members who would join, getting some, public image out there. And plus the Exchange Club, I think it'd be a great spot, that overgrown center, what I mean? That I'm just knows where that is, but it's
That
all
island is named.
the island.
It does have it.
Doesn't it?
It's No Gear Lemire Island.
It's not.
Bruce would probably know the story behind it. My brother, who was a lieutenant,
If we could figure something.
he was a lieutenant in the fire department,
Tommy?
went out there on that island checking the ice and fell through, crawled to the island. He had no gear and had to call the fire department to come save.
Therefore,
No beer later.
That's great. Well, there could be like a plaque. We could have a conversation about it.
To it.
Yeah, in power, you'd have to have. I don't know.
Right, so there's all sorts of, it's just an idea, I
I
wanted
like the
to
idea
bring.
of the lot, because I was wondering why we don't do one in town, so.
And where we would
There-
have,
Or even
there,
on the town green to have at the Starlight Festival that something, I don't
Right.
know, but somewhere.
somewhere, I was thinking where it would stay put,
Yeah.
look great,
Yeah.
come in and out of town.
Because people like it.
You know what, there's a buzz we need to hear.
And this
No?
one of the gates.
Plenty of butts on my end.
Yeah.
It's like Jerry said, yeah, it would be our version of it, there would be interpretations
Yeah,
and but it's an idea for that part of the area of town that I feel like, there's so much traffic.
Very bland.
Well,
And
love the idea, it just, the island itself,
I'm sure.
if you, there's a lot of logistics that have to go in. Power's not an issue, we have power to a light pole there, we'd have to string a wire over to it, but if you're talking true lobster pot, the lobster pot in Stonington has well over 1,000
I know,
pots in
I
it.
know.
And buoys that are attached to it
Yeah.
from all the businesses
Something
that
decorative,
donate to
yeah.
it, and then you can actually go in the lobster pot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And take
This is
pictures.
a version of, so this is
You wouldn't
like,
want that version.
no, because it's
And
a
it wouldn't be enough room over
reasonable.
there anyway, and it's not flat ground. either.
No, this would just be smaller.
I would think a regular tree, if we did our own Christmas tree of some sort, of holiday tree or whatever, however you want to call it,
Yeah.
I'd be better off. And, because you can't have people go to it.
No, it wouldn't, it'd be a variation of,
Can we
but
plant a
something,
tree there?
something C.
Wherever tree, wherever you want.
Huh?
it sort of has one growing in the middle, like, I
I
know
got
every spring it
A
has
nice
a.
tree planted there, with something to be there.
collaboration with the fire department, with a small boat that could trip ferry kids over there to hang an ornament or something. I don't know.
I think there's room for like we could creatively come up with something, but it would look great.
So still,
It's really
I
attractive.
don't know if the lobster pot look of it is the right idea, because it's
Yeah.
literally an oval island.
Right.
Yeah.
It'd take a lot to put something out there for that.
But you could get solar or 12-volt battery to power something.
Do like a
Yeah,
land.
we have, the white case, we can afford to something.
Something that's,
But then you don't have ice skating when it gets
that's
cold,
good.
if it gets low. But yeah, we could do something with it.
And it'd be great when it does freeze and there's hockey and everyone's
That'd
like,
be
it's
awesome.
so fun to have it lit. It would look beautiful, people have a little fire there, like it would just, assuming you get some colder temps.
I like it, because we had previously discussed, I think, 2 months, maybe 3 months ago, about updating the benches and the tables that are there, because they were pretty dilapidated. And that old sign that's almost covered by one of the kind of coniferous trees.
I drove in there the other day, I was driving by and I was like, oh, I poked around, like, oh, yeah. It needs a little something there.
Like spruce it up there.
A lot of stuff.
It's another issue because you really can't get to it unless you have a boat.
Right, it's so
You
dry.
can't take any tractors out there. Even in the summertime, when we ran out of water, we tried mowing it and the mower kind of sunk, so we had to get out there real quick.
Right.
It's just, it is tough to get to, but that's manpower, and that's something Public Works would have to figure out, and I don't know how they would do it.
Fire
so.
department would assist.
I think I have a good idea how to do it.
That's the
I'm
plan.
kind of good at that. I don't.
Yeah,
There were people there like sitting and having lunch and. Yeah.
all the time there's a
Yeah.
van or something in there and people are with dogs I see all the time too, so.
I will bring it up to our Public Works Director, see if he has any insights or ideas on how to clean that island.
If the canopy committee there has any trees they want to plant, maybe they could plant a nice evergreen
I
right
think
there.
I'm sure there's invasive in there right now, we can see it anyway.
Planting
There are,
a nice, be better than anything. If we could plant a nice Christmas.
It's
tree.
Christmas
Yeah.
tree, like
That
they
would
get
be-
one
The island
that's
already
already
is
like
for it,
15
why not
feet.
plant
and
it?
it's being- Yes, you don't wanna wait 25 years,
I think
so,
it's too big. Figure out
but if we,
Well,
that's
Star, you can name it Star Island.
Star.
I like
That would fit the
second
Starlight
that.
Festival,
Exactly.
like we could.
I think we'll
I
put
just
this
think
on
the
the
commission
agenda
would be a
for
really
next
good
month,
thing
and
to do
just
with
keep
the-
asking.
Yeah.
Figure it out
I
what
like
to
have
do.
us do something.
All right.
Yeah.
When we're going to the town very soon, in the next like 10 years for some big boats,
Yeah.
big money. They need to see us. We need to be more present. We have to be out there. These kind of little things work.
Okay, so
So,
we'll just put this on the agenda and see how far we can go with it.
Yeah,
Next one. So.
Star Island.
Yeah.
We'll
There's a few of those out there. that-
change the name of the island from Noguer Lemire to.
Okay.
Star Island.
That's the Star Island month, I'm gonna get.
Any other, business regarding programs, facilities and personnel? Moving along to all parks review.
Nothing new to report in the parks, they're frozen.
Except, the courts are being used all day, all night until their last light. They were even practicing out here and got the new lights out. Harvey's Beach discussion, anything new we want to discuss with that?
I don't have anything to discuss.
Okay. Strategic plan, parks discussion.
The last, correspondence I had with Jacobson's office, who was doing the strategic plan, is they were still waiting on some of their other people to get to them what they need to get to. So nothing's really moved on that, unfortunately. But hopefully in the new year, we can get more movement on it so we can get this moving in the right direction. It is moving in the right direction, but hopefully we can get some sort of finalized plan to
Get
go.
our subcommittee together for the
Yeah,
playground.
yeah, exactly.
Just so the new members know, it's basically around Town Park and the revamp.
The official name is Clark.
Clark Community Park.
Thank you.
Clark Community
Town
Park.
Park First Town.
Jacobson is the engineering, consulting engineer prior to do all the evaluation, wetlands, parking and ground.
Was the engineer for the town as well.
Yeah.
And the kayak discussion, well, that bit the dust when a certain piece of property was sold. I'll have to look
It's
again.
under, pending.
Yes, and they're gonna set the medical building there.
Yeah, it's great. It's gonna be a doctor.
Are you kidding?
Way to go.
How many doctor's
Yeah.
offices do we need here?
Way to blow
And
it.
medical buildings.
Really?
Yeah, we blew that one. We blew that
And
one.
they waited.
Well,
They
you
called-
tried.
They called me the owners. Called.
They want us to be there with us.
Well, keep our eyes and ears open for another
Oh, it makes
possibility.
me so mad.
Oh, me too.
Because, years ago, that piece of property, then when the Maynards owned it, that was not all land there. It was filled in by them and filled in by then and filled in, the Maynards filled in that land to be where it is now, where they have so the town actually used to own a bunch of that. So I don't know where it happened, where it transferred to the Maynards.
A lot of things
Someone-
changed,
somebody was
especially with the Oyster River Bridge. State property on the other
But
side.
there's not a lot of
But-
security under that property as it is, because it's just mill.
Yeah, well, I feel bad that, the town didn't go ahead and just try to make some negotiations, but moving along, keep your eyes and ears open for another possibility.
Yeah.
I'll bring it up, preserve update?
Nothing to report on the preserve. I still have not heard, that the forest management plan has been signed off on officially, so we don't know where that is at.
Any other business regarding, programs, facilities and personnel?
I will say that, we have hired a new program facility assistant, and that person will be starting, January 5th.
Does Taryn have any interest in coming to any of our meetings to do what Johnny used to do?
I don't know. I mean, she was in the gym tonight with indoor soccer, so, some of her time is pushed in other directions that I've asked her to push in, so. I will ask her though.
It'd be nice for the commission, that everybody could meet her.
Sure.
Quarter or something.
Yeah, just when maybe the pamphlet comes out, and then new programs. Nice. Who is this? The raise assistant director. Oh, okay.
Karen Herb.
Well, I think she came to one meeting.
She did.
That was it, yeah.
I've never met her.
I can always copy her,
We got spoiled.
then you can mention it.
Huh?
We got spoiled with Donna coming in
Yeah,
and talking about the
yeah.
program, so. It is nice though. It would be good to have maybe quarterly or
Especially when the monthlet comes
programs,
out.
just to be up to date. I don't. The kids are outgrown and things like that. It is great.
Any other business? Programs, facilities, personnel? No? All right, chairman's report. Well, I'm sorry we didn't, town wasn't able to put in the bid that was accepted by the, property that we've been talking about across from McDonald's, but other than that, I'd like to thank everyone in the commissioner for their years' worth of work that we have been doing. It has been very big. And I'd like to thank Ray for all of his help. Sometimes we don't realize how much Ray does and how many different hats he has to wear to get the jobs done. And I mean, we came here with beaches, all of our 17, 18 pieces of property assets that we take care of, which 20, that number keeps going up. And I offered to have the town buy another piece of property that we'd be doing, but, and I mean, you do so much from, working with the preserve and working with, many of the other organizations here and youth and family services and the schools. So I just want to go on record to thank you for all that you do and, look forward to continuing this in 2024.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Ray.
I appreciate it. Thanks, everyone.
Now we're ready for Ray's
Well, as long
report.
as the hats are all like, you know, New England based,
Gosh, of
we're
course.
good.
I'm from New York.
That's good.
I'm not saying a word. And you are glad you're a commissioner. More fun to come, ladies. Director's report.
I don't have a direction report this month.
And I built him up so big. Oh, just took the air right out. How about our liaisons report from the conservation? Thank you for making it through our meeting once again, sir. We do appreciate you coming. I hope everyone has a merry, happy holiday season. The Christian, I say Merry Christmas, but some of you may not be, so we take on yours. And looking forward to a prosperous and healthy new year. So,
Healthy and prosperous.
Any movement on the dog park that we talked about at Main Street Park? Can we talk any further about that?
No.
Okay. Table it.
nope, but I did take some pictures because I was showing some people, and I'll probably show the board of selectmen coming up, what we're thinking of on that. It would be kind of neat.
Yeah.
If we can get that together with the ribbon cutting in the spring.
Did combine bocce in that? Yeah.
Mhm.
When is your budget meeting again? That last Saturday?
It's actually changed.
Is it?
It's a Thursday now, I believe. Yeah, I didn't do it.
So is it gonna be in February then?
No, it's in January.
Oh, it is in
I just don't-
January.
I don't remember the date off the top of my head.
The Thursday, the 29th?
Is it Tuesday or Thursday? I
Okay.
don't remember.
All right, so next meeting.
I think it's Thursday, so
Okay.
actually, no, it's
It'll be-
Tuesday.
Okay, but it's
January
gonna be at the board
5th.
finance meeting.
Yes,
Okay.
14th or
Oh,
21st.
Evening.
So that's
I
a
can't
Wednesday?
remember Actually, the actual.
Oh,
date.
no, I thought it was a Wednesday. Maybe I gave you the wrong date then. If it's a board of finance
It's
meeting,
either Tuesday,
Tuesday.
Wednesday, or Thursday, so
Yeah.
it might be the
Oh,
Wednesday.
that week.
Yeah,
That's
that
right.
week.
They did
Yeah.
Tuesday,
What are we doing
Thursday.
at the meeting? We're making a proposal for funds?
No.
No, it's your same budget
Okay.
The
request
regular
that you're
sponsor.
gonna
I
go
gave you
through.
the budget. That goes.
Place up the Saturday
Here's
meeting.
PowerPoint for the budget so that you'll be up to date. Thank you. Note to me, you're getting a lot of emails.
Thank you.
Yes, and we normally, that our big,
Yeah.
well-appointed man here who does it.
In person or Zoom, we'll be there for Ray.
But, yes, everyone is avoided, just as soon as you email us with the proper date and time.
Yeah.
I'll find out for you.
I think it's.
Thank you, Jerry.
Last Wednesday of January. For the 28th thing.
It's January 21st, I'm gonna say.
That was the week before that.
Wednesday.
So,
All right, we've come to the point in the meeting where I normally open the floor to any commissioner who has any ideas and want to say anything, and I won't turn my back to Beth in case she wants to add something.
The only thing I know we talked about a couple meetings ago, Ray seems to be on board, is perhaps generating some kind of swag to sell at mini golf. And maybe at the hut at Harvey's or the town beach. I'm certain somebody that I know that has already come up with a couple of different ideas for you in a project he was working on. So I don't know if it's something that, you want me to see if I can get him to give me some examples and I can bring them to a meeting and
Well,
start with like a low, like maybe a visor, a couple of shirts, like our
Yeah.
shirt or a town beach or a
Beach t-shirt.
mini golf, put around by the sound.
he's got something that.
It's got some already in
He's got
play.
some art, that's fine.
Yep.
I would need to certainly bring it to our screen printer, make sure they could
Yep.
transfer that over, but
Yep. Okay,
big deal.
all right.
Signs have the, lighthouse, right?
The what?
All our parks.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah,
good to
like
sort
the
of,
mini golf thing, yeah.
right,
So
like stay
a lot of
in
his were-
theme
a
with
lot of
our.
his were all with the lighthouse.
Yeah, the lighthouse is such a great,
Yeah.
we have so many of them, in a small area that I think it. that
So
would be
I'll ask him over winter break to put together a couple examples for me and I'll bring them to,
It'd be good to have something that we got out there, because there's some randoms out in
I
town.
see like
You see
the
them,
Saybrook
like,
one has a Harvey's Beach shirt. And I'm like, should be-
there's some not, like, it's not uniform, you know, like, you don't have like a full
The
logo. Yeah, like, I feel like it's a little, like, you see these disjointed things, just stickers, like, I've seen some random things that
Yeah.
are not, like, haven't taken off. So it might be a good opportunity for us,
Yeah,
for them,
Yeah.
to kind of brand again with this.
So I figure
kind thing.
the people in
Like,
the
we need
little
to
Harvey's
get
Beach,
ourselves out there
We never had
a
a
lot.
lot before.
you could hang them up outside, so people coming in, I'm like, ooh,
Yeah, and if you need a sweatshirt, or you need a
Yeah.
t-shirt, and it's like
like a sun
15
visor or
bucks,
something.
it's cheap.
Rash guards, if you did rash guards.
oh, yeah,
Rash
Sorry.
guard?
At the beach, yeah, you need a t-shirt for, keep it reasonable, like $15.
Okay.
Yeah, where it's not like you're like,
Right, we got a lot of money.
$50 sweatshirts.
So I'll give some examples,
Exactly.
bring some in and we can tweak them.
Yeah,
That'd
and
be
I
great.
think that we could, that's more like, you know,
Trying to give them a lot of work so we could build this portfolio.
definitely, and we could use it, and again, branding us is
Yeah.
important in the next 5
That's a
years.
good idea.
But we need momentum.
we do. And I
No,
think
but
that's a
like,
good idea.
really. That's the amount of money we're gonna be.
All right, so we'll put that one on the
All right,
agenda
so
too, so that we can keep on top of that.
Some budgeting.
Anyone else with any suggestions, discussion points, or anything you just want to give us? Not to put everybody on the line, but come to that time now where I can entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'm sorry. Let me make motion to adjourn.
Our president and,
I will second that motion to adjourn.
all in favor, aye?
Aye.
All right, thank you, Beth. Hope you're feeling better.
Bye, Beth.
Bye, guys. Have a good holiday.